Hey guys, so it is now October. Let's go ahead and discuss the October 2025 schedule here. So this is the final month before Legends Festival begins, and we should be jumping into our final campaign here before the beginning of Legends Fest, which should start next week. So the current Red Ribbon Army celebration is only going until the 8th of October, which is next week. So I think what will happen is next week we'll have a new campaign, and then the two major releases that we get during this month, I think will both correlate to whatever the celebration's theme will be. So let's quickly, again, what I like to do in these videos, go through what we received in the prior year during the 2024 month of October, and then we can talk about what I think we'll see this year. Before we start, though, I will preface this video by saying the post 7th anniversary scheduling has been kind of not very predictable. We've had campaigns that have only lasted for 2.5 weeks. We've had campaigns that have started the end of the prior month and ended in the middle of a month, and campaigns that are starting at like the middle of months. Like, it's really, really strange and kind of an unpredictable schedule. Just this post 7th anniversary world that we're in here. So I think there's always just kind of like a question mark or an asterisk next to everything that I'm predicting here, because it's just, I got to base it off of something, and I'm basing it off of the prior year's schedule, but this year has been very different than last year. Okay, so last year in October, I'll just go through what we received on the reset days, so every Wednesday of this month. On the 2nd of October, we had the free purple Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Remember, this Super Saiyan 3 Goku that we got for October was actually put into the data early, because he was put into the data with Turles on the 30th, right here. Because Ultra Turles dropped on the 30th, which was the last day of September, and then they had already put the purple Super Saiyan 3 Goku's data in here, so he just released on Wednesday. So that's kind of what we had today with the free-to-play Trunks. Nothing really else dropped, so that mirrors last year pretty well, right? Free-to-play Trunks this year, and then last year we had the free-to-play Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and that's it. October 9th, we had the Zenkai for... October 9th, we had the Zenkai for the LF Buu duo, and we had the LF Gamma unique equipment, the first LF Gamma unique equipment. So that was a pretty good week. For an off week, an LF Zenkai and a unique equipment for an LF character, that's a pretty good off week that doesn't have a major character releasing. And then actually what happened on the 11th is this, and I'm gonna probably bring this up when we talk about this year's calendar as well. This was the first ever episode of Daima. Dragon Ball Daima started airing on October 11th here, and they dropped the green Daima Goku in the game. Remember the green Daima Goku, they gave out like enough Z power to get him to 0 stars free to play, and then they had the banner where you could summon for him, and there was like super boosted rates for him. But that green Daima Goku was very, very good, and then they Zenkai him very quickly. But he was a good character. Like, he was like I like to call him like a pseudo free character, because they gave out very, very small amounts of Z power for him for free, but then they had the banner with like super, super mega boosted rates for him. That was on the 11th, but a bit of an irregular thing, because that was the start of a new anime for Dragon Ball, which doesn't happen very often. So that was the 11th. And then on the 16th, we had the LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku release. LF Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks release, my bad. LF Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks came out, and then the 1% sparking on that banner was the Hercule and Buu character, which is a fun character, but they didn't really impact the game at all. Then on the 23rd, we had the Zenkai, the very long-awaited Zenkai for Blue Deborah. And then they also dropped a unique equipment for the original LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the Buu saga, the Kid Buu fight. Green Super Saiyan 3 Goku got a unique equip on the 23rd. And then the last week of October, so on the 29th, we had the reveal for Ultra Majin Vegeta, and then on the 30th, Ultra Majin Vegeta actually released in the game. And then that was it. And then the entire rest of, I guess, we go into November real quick. November, again, this is the start of Legends Fest, but didn't start until, like, you know, later into the month, like over here, the 23rd, I think is when it started last year. But we had all of this essentially with filler content. So there is a pretty big wait until the beginning of Legends Fest. That's usually how it works with all these major celebrations. Anniversary is the same thing. The entirety of May is usually just kind of off weeks, and then once the anniversary starts, everything goes crazy. But this, again, is kind of the finale until we see what we're getting for Legends Fest. So looking at last year and how they did this, I will essentially just be pulling the same exact stuff for this year's October. This year, so last October, technically the campaign started here, and this was the month of the Buu Saga stuff, right? Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks and Ultra Majin Vegeta. We had the Zenkai for the Buu Duo, Blue Dabura Zenkai, the Super Saiyan 3 Goku equipment. The only kind of like weird inclusion was the Gammas getting their unique equip, which again, kind of strange. And then the Daima Goku releasing, but that was to coincide with the first episode of Daima. This year, we're essentially getting one less week of this campaign, whatever this campaign's going to be, because we're starting over here. So the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th will be the reset days this year. I think what's most likely is similar to last year. I think the 9th, so this year it's the 8th. The 8th, next week, I think will be the start of whatever the next campaign is. But I think what they'll do is they'll start it with either a normal Zenkai or an LF Zenkai. And then I'd also like to see, on top of that, I would also like to see a unique equipment for an LF character, right? So let's just say it's a movie celebration. That's what I'm going to be leaning towards for the theme of October here. But let's just say it's a movie celebration. I guess we can just open like Beast and go to the movies team via Beast here. Sagas from the movies. They could do, where is he? This Gohan. I mean, they're saving this guy for something, right? I mean, it's the oldest LF character in the game without a Zenkai Awakening. Let's just say they Zenkai Revival Gohan, and then they could give a unique equipment to Blue Beast Gohan, right? All of a sudden, not only does that buff movies, but it also really helps hybrids. Hybrids, this is like one of the only periods in the history of this game where hybrids has just not been like present at all in the game. Like, we have no great hybrid Saiyans, so we can take a look at that as well here. I should just keep that tab open. Let me do this. Like, who's the best hybrid Saiyan in the game? Ultra Beast Gohan? He's not bad, but I mean, yeah, compare him to, like, you know, Namek Goku, Full Power Frieza, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, some of the recent LFs and Android 13, even like the Gammas. Hybrids is, this has never happened ever in the history of this game. The last hybrid Saiyan was 10 months ago, right? That is not I don't want to say that'll never happen again, but I would be surprised if it ever happened again. I mean, this is a long time without a hybrid Saiyan. We did get the free-to-play Trunks here. Typically, the free-to-play character has something to do with what we get for the rest of the month. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be the case this month, because this Trunks is coinciding with the 13 release, and that campaign is ending next week. But I think there's a chance this Trunks could be alluding to what we get this month. So he's also a movies character, and he's a hybrid, right? So I think this character for sure is on the table for a Zenkai. To be fair, Blue Beast is also on the table for a Zenkai, but he's probably still to the level where he could be fine with the unique equip, right? They could just give him like a Tag Force level unique equip and he'll be fine. So that could be really good because it buffs two teams that need help, movies and hybrids. So that would be, I think, a good week here, and for next week, the off week next week. And then the 15th should be our first major release of the month, and then this will be the off week, and then the second major release of the month. Again, it really depends on if they want to do the thing where they release the character at the end of the month. But the 29th, I would probably assume will be when we get the second release, but it could also be the 31st. Typically, what we've seen this year in particular is they have not delayed the release of the end of the month character until the very last day. They usually just release them on the last reset day of the month. So I think it'll be 15th and 29th is where we should see the two big releases. When it comes to what I think will happen, it's either going to be, well, there's really three options here. The first option is LF Ultra. Second option is Ultra LF. And then the third option is LF LF. If we get here and we had an LF here, and they announce a second LF on the 28th to come out here, buckle up, because we're probably getting another double Ultra for Legends Fest. This is the month where we should know. We should find out this month whether or not they're planning on dropping another double Ultra for Part 3 of Legends Fest, because they always drop 2 Ultras in between Anniversary and Fest. So if there's not one in this month, then get ready. Buckle your seatbelts. But I will just pull this up here. I did briefly mention this in the breakdown video today. Let's go over to, actually, let's pull this up here in the summons tab. They brought back the Ultra Full Power Frieza banner, and they brought this banner out, the October Limited banner. Essentially what this banner is it's like an upgraded version of the Sparking Limit Break banner. What the Sparking Limit Break banner is it essentially just serves as like a warning that a major hype or like really, really meta impactful character is about to drop, and they want you to spend your resources and crystals on the Sparking Limit Break banner to essentially, I guess, entice you or coerce you into spending real money to re-up on CC before you summon on the next banner coming out. So essentially serves as bait. This is an enhanced version of bait here, because the lineup here, you got some decent characters. Like, I think like Tien is like okay. This Goku's really good. Vegeta's still really good. I think Kaioken Goku's really good. I think they're not as good as they were when they dropped on the anniversary. That's 100% for sure, but they're still strong units. So you've got like actually usable characters on here, and then you also still have these coins which you can use to exchange for Legends Limited Z Power from the shop. So overall, the value on here is really not that bad. But they went above and beyond with this because they also brought back the Ultra Full Power Frieza banner as well. So they're basically standing on top of a building, screaming into a bullhorn at the top of their lungs, please use all your CC. Please use all your CC on these banners, because we're about to drop something here. We're about to drop something here that's going to be pretty crazy, or impactful at least. So I think, based off of the fact that this goes away on the 15th, the Frieza banner is still up for a few days after that, but I mean, it goes away pretty soon after that. I actually am leaning more towards this being an Ultra on the 15th, as opposed to at the end of the month. Typically, Ultras released at the end of the month, but for this month in particular, I'm going to assume that the 15th will be an Ultra, and the LF will be at the end of the month. We did actually see this once before. It was the October before Legends Fest 2023. It was Ultra Janemba, who dropped in the middle of the month, and then at the end of the month, we had the LF Pikkon, who revived into Super Gogeta. I think we'll most likely see something similar with this month. My money would be on Ultra LF, but if it's not that, I would be very confident in it being LF Ultra. Again, if it is LF and then we get here and they announce another LF for here, probably looking at double Ultra for Legends Fest, which I don't think many people are excited for. I would be down for it for sure, but they have to have them be separate. You can't have them be on the same team, right? It's like a kindergarten level design philosophy. Like, duh. Do we want to drop two like insanely broken game defining characters and have them just be perfect partners for each other? Like, no, that's not what you do in this game. But that is what we're looking at here in terms of the actual banner formats for this month. So essentially, I think it'll probably just mirror last October in terms of like what off week stuff, like LF Zenkai, LF Unique Equip, LF character. Well, actually, I think it's gonna be an Ultra here. This week is probably gonna be the dead week of this month. I would assume it's gonna be like a 1% Zenkai, maybe a unique equipment for some like old character or something, and maybe not. Maybe just be it possibly could just be like a 1% Zenkai, and that's it. And then this probably will be an LF, is what I'm assuming is going to happen here. In terms of themes, they have been buffing movies the past few months, but they have not been dedicated movie campaigns, right? So if we go back to the movies team here, we had Metal Cooler dropped, right? During, it was August, was the Metal Cooler celebration. It was the Wicked Clan or whatever celebration. And then we had the Zenkai 4 Red Cooler. So that was, they're kind of getting movies kind of buffed up a little bit. And then we just had the 13 movie mini Red Ribbon Army celebration, which gave us LF13, it was very good. And then we had the 14 and 15 1% sparking on the banner, who are, I would say, they're just okay. And then we had the Gamma's unique equipment, which is like, dude, the Gammas are like up there. I didn't do a top 10 list for the 13 release because I'd already done 2 of those videos in September, and I really don't want to do a third one. So I'm gonna wait till we get the next character to drop before I do an update for the top 10. But the Gammas are like top 5. They're crazy. They're really crazy. Next to 13, like the combo of 13 and the Gammas, that's like one of the best combos in the game. It's crazy. They really, really wanted the Gammas to be relevant. So the movies team actually has some stuff here, right? I really don't like Metal Cooler at all. I don't think he's very good, but the Zenkai Red Cooler I think is fine. He's not great. He's all right. Gammas are really good. 13 is really good. So if we get a dedicated movies campaign here where we get an Ultra and an LF for movies all of a sudden is going to be like best team in the game, or right up there as best team in the game. So that could be a thing as well. Again, they could also mix in some of the hybrids here too, right? They could give a unique equipment to Beast. They could give a Zenkai to this purple Gohan. All of a sudden, hybrids is looking at a potential comeback if they drop like one character to come out that would fit on hybrids. That could also be something that there's that's in the pipeline as well. But I'm thinking, a dedicated movies campaign could definitely be something that we see here. And if they are going to Zenkai this Gohan, I really do think a new Bojack could be in the pipeline as well. He could be an Ultra. I mean, Ultra Bojack, like, if we compare hype levels, we got Ultra Turles last year. Is it really that out of the question that we could see an Ultra Bojack? I would say no. Bojack and Turles for me are kind of on a similar level. I think I probably would give the advantage to Turles though, just because he's simply because he's a Saiyan. That's the only advantage he would get there. But I could definitely see an LF or an Ultra Bojack. And the main reason why I'm singling Bojack out here is just because it would pair up well with this guy getting a Zenkai, and he is the oldest LF without a Zenkai. So at some point they're gonna have to Zenkai this character. But yeah, that's what I think we could see here. Other stuff that I think we could see, I don't think they would go down the path of giving us like a Broly movie character in just like a random month here in October. But I would also argue that like Ultra Majin Vegeta is pretty hype for just like an off month. Majin Vegeta is like one of the most popular characters from Dragon Ball Z. So the fact that they just dropped him in October last year was pretty hype. It was. So is it completely off the table that they would give us something from the Broly movie? I don't think they would give us like ultra full power Broly in October. I don't think they would do that. But I could definitely see something like LF God Vegeta from the Broly movie, or potentially like an LF Tag God Goku and Vegeta from the Broly movie. Non-transforming, non-fusing, just LF God Goku and Vegeta from the Broly. I could see that for just like an off-month LF character. I could definitely see that. Orange Piccolo is another character that I think we could easily see a new character for. We desperately need just like a standalone Orange Piccolo. I know people want like the Tag Orange Piccolo and Beast Gohan character, and at some point that will happen, but I don't know if now is the time for this. But there's a lot of characters that could drop for movies. So movies is like right ready to get stuff that would propel them to number 1 or number 2 overall best team in the game, because 13 is like you could just put this character on like any team in leader slot and the team just gets better because he's there. So 13 just being available for the movies team, it doesn't take much. It doesn't really take much for this. Something else they could do, by the way, is they could give a platinum equipment to like Ultra Super Janemba. So that's also on the table as well. Another possible option in terms of themes for October, and I don't know how welcome this would be, but as crazy as it sounds, we are about to celebrate the first anniversary of Dragon Ball Daima airing. Remember, Daima first episode aired on October 11th, 2024. So pretty much like right here would be the first anniversary of Dragon Ball Daima, which is pretty close to this, which is the first reset day of the whatever the next campaign is going to be. It would not surprise me if this ended up being a Dragon Ball Daima celebration. I think Daima will play some part in Legends Fest. I don't think it's going to be like an entire part by itself. I think what will happen is it'll probably be like what we saw last year with Daima in Legends Fest, where part 2, we got the Tamagami 3 fight Goku and Tamagami 3 himself in part 2, but then the other banner was transforming Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So we did have Daima, but it was only one half of one part of Legends Fest. I think we could see something similar this year. I don't think they would just drop like a mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku here. I think what would happen is mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku would probably be like one of the banners for part 1 of Legends Fest. But then leading into that, if they do go with Daima for October, we could see like mini Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta or something. And then they could do, I don't know. Because I'm thinking it would be an Ultra, right? There's not really many options for Ultras from Daima, which is like the only thing that's kind of throwing me off if it is going to be Daima. But mini Super Saiyan 3 is definitely like a character I could see that would drop as an LF for like an off-month Daima celebration. Would they do adult Super Saiyan 4 Goku as an Ultra just in October here? I would doubt it. I don't think so, but that would be kind of crazy. I don't think it's going to be Daima here. I'm much more leaning to the movies theme for October, but if we get here and the data download happens and we go into the app and it's like Daima theme as the celebration, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't. I would just be a little bit... I wouldn't really know what to expect at that point, though, because, again, mini Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku are like the only two big characters left to get, because I don't know how they would do Goma unless they just do him as a supporter. Right? They could do that. Right? That's like a way they could get characters like Cell Max, Hirudegarn, and Goma into the game. Is they're giant characters that wouldn't be able to be playable, but they could just do them as supporters. I guess they could give us a Goma that just doesn't go giant. Or they could give us a Goma that goes giant in the LF animation, I guess. Right? Maybe it's just like the non-giant third eye Goma. The one that like fights in the beginning of the fight. That doesn't... He isn't like massive yet. Goma, Super Saiyan 3 mini Vegeta. And then all that's left is like, mini Super Saiyan 4. I mean, they could do mini Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but mini Super Saiyan 3 Goku fights for like 2 minutes. And then he transforms, right? So that's something they could do as well, Daima here. But my money would definitely be on movies at this point. So you guys can let me know what you think. I think, again, the 15th, I would be more inclined to think it would be an Ultra character here. And then an LF character here. But it could be reversed. And if it's 2 LFs, you know what's coming. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what characters or what theme you would like to see in this upcoming October campaign. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one.